Arpeggios are a very fundamental capability for musicians. They sort of bridge the gap between playing scales and playing chords. Arpeggios are basically chords played one note at a time. Now, you can imagine with all of the different types of chords that are available, in all of the different keys, with all of the different ways to voice those chords, having a reliable and complete library of arpeggios can be a pretty intimidating task. Welcome back to the channel. My name's Chris. Today you will learn a method for creating complex arpeggios using a 2-note per string structure. Okay, what's that all about? I'm going to explain all this in a second. The problem we're trying to solve is, how do you come up with arpeggios for complex chords without having a corresponding chord library? And I'm going to demonstrate this in a minute. But these 2-note per string shapes take these more complex chords and make them very, very easy to see. And in fact, once you get this idea down, the idea of how to build them, and then this 2-note per string shape, you can play any type of chord, in any key, anywhere on the neck. It's a 0 to 60 type of capability. Like if I said to you, play a C-sharp minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio. You might be deer in the headlights. I don't even know a C-sharp minor 7 flat 5 chord voicing, so how could I possibly play an arpeggio? This system that I'm about to show you only relies on 2 pieces of information. Do you know where to find the root on the guitar? And do you know what the chord formula is? Once you have those 2 things, you can use this 2-note per string shape format, methodology, to map, like I said, any chord anywhere on the neck at any time. So that's the problem we're trying to solve. We're going to zoom in. I'm going to show you how to put this shape on the neck and explain how you can alter the shape with any chord formula to again create any single arpeggio you could ever think of anywhere on the neck. Then I'm going to give you a diatonic example. I'm going to play all of the complex 4-part chords in a key using these arpeggios, and you'll see how fantastically flexible this is. Okay, let's zoom in and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, that's a pretty tall order, right? Being able to play any complex arpeggio anywhere on the neck? Come on, it couldn't be true. It actually is. Now, I'm going to just show you the problem we're trying to solve here. Arpeggios are chords played one note at a time. Here's our A chord. Here's our A arpeggio. No problem. Easy to see, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, if I change this to an A major 7 chord, what I've just done is change it from root 3-5, which is this chord, to root 3-5-7. Here's the formula. Root 3-5-7. Now there are 4 notes in this chord. The standard arpeggio for this chord looks like this. Little more complex, right? You can see that some notes here are on a single string. Some strings have 2 notes per string. It's much more complex, right? Here's the big trouble. I can only play it right there. It's stuck in this position. Like, where else can I play it? I don't, maybe I've got one here. Okay, cool enough. I muscled through that, but now I've only got 2 places to play it. This 2 notes per string arpeggio works like this. We're going to play the first 4 notes of the arpeggio that I just played, A major 7, root 3-5-7. Here we go. Root 3-5-7. Look at the string format. 1 note per string here, 2 here, and 1 here. And our chord tones, again, are root 3-5-7. This 2-note per string arpeggio simply says this. We're going to take the 7, root 3-5-7, and we're going to move it down an octave. So now it's behind the root, right behind the root by a half step. Now the arpeggio looks like this. 7, root 3-5. Now watch the difference in my right hand. Here's the original arpeggio. Here's Here's the 2-note per string arpeggio. It's easier to play. Even notes per string, easier to play with the right hand, easier to see. It's just easier in general. Here's the next benefit. Any symmetrical pattern stacks in octaves very, very easily. I'm just taking these 3 octaves of A. Here's A on the A string, A on the D string, and A on the B string. And I'm just sticking that shape on that A. 7, root, 3, 5. 7, root, 3, 5. 7, root, 3, 5. So much easier to see, right? So much easier to look at, understand, see, and navigate. Okay, so there it is. 4-part chords, very complex chords. They have a 7 in them. 2 notes per string makes that much easier to see. Now, the next 4-part chord in our library is dominant 7. And that looks like this, root 3, 5, flat 7. So here's our major 7 arpeggio with the 7 here. Just take that down a half step. Now we have an A7 chord. Isn't that cool? Same exact thing, same kind of flexibility. Wherever you have an A, you can play this. Easy to play, easy to finger, easy to pick. It's just easier. The next chord on our list is minor 7. That's root, flat 3, 5, flat 7. Here's our shape, right? Flat the 7 and flat the 3. Keep everything else the same. Now we have an A minor 7 arpeggio. Anywhere you find an A, you can just plug that in. Now we've got minor 7 arpeggios all over the neck. This is a lot, right? This is serious freedom. The last one in the diatonic series, in other words, the last 4-part chord in the diatonic series is minor 7, flat 5, and it looks like this. Root, flat 3, flat 5, flat 7. The only note that stays the same here is the root. Everybody else goes down a half step. Here's what it looks like. Weird, cool, mysterious sounding chord. Now you've got the arpeggio all over the neck. Wow, that's real freedom, right? Anywhere you find an A. Really easy to pick. 2 notes per string makes it so easy. And it's so easy to see the formula. 7 root, 3, 5. You just alter those for any one of these formulas and you can play any one of those complex chords as an arpeggio anywhere on the neck. That's real freedom. Okay, I want to do one more thing for you, which is I'm going to take those shapes, the major 7, minor 7, dominant 7, and minor 7 flat 5, and I'm just going to play the diatonic series. In other words, all the chords in a specific key using those arpeggios. I'm going to change us now to the key of G because it just sits a little bit better on the neck. I'm going to play all those arpeggios ascending on these middle 2 strings, just using those shapes. I'm just going to use that shape, that 2 note per string shape, and I'm going to alter the notes as we go. G major 7, A minor 7, B minor 7, C major 7, D dominant 7, E minor 7, F sharp minor 7 flat 5, back to G major 7. That's incredible fretboard freedom. Not because I can do it, but as I did it, I only used that one method. 2 notes per string, 4-part chords, altering them as I go through that diatonic series. And if you don't know the diatonic series, we're talking about G major 7, A minor 7, B minor 7, C major 7, D dominant 7, E minor 7, F sharp minor 7 flat 5, and G major 7 again. Those are all of the diatonic chords built in the key of C using 4-part chords. Some sort of chord that has the root, 3, 5, and 7. Okay, wow, that's a lot. And it seems like, whoa, that's an incredible amount of information. All I'm using is that one idea. 2 notes per string, 4-part chord, 7 root, 3, 5. And just using those formulas to move those chord tones around. And I've got any complex arpeggio, 4-part chord, anywhere I want on the neck in multiple positions with a very easy shape to play. Those 2 notes per string, that even notes per string, allows me to pick it very, very efficiently so I can get a lot of speed if I need it. Fantastic piece of information. Real fretboard freedom sitting in there. Okay, there it is. A method by which you can play these complex arpeggios, root 3, 5, 7, right? And you saw the 4 different types, major 7, minor 7, dominant 7, minor 7 flat 5. They're all just alterations of the same formula. And you can see with that 2 note per string shape, they're so easy to alter that you can basically play any type of 4-part chord arpeggio anywhere on the neck. This type of chord freedom and arpeggio freedom is sort of unbelievable. It's really, the freedom is incredible. I hope you enjoy this. I hope it gets you some new fretboard knowledge and opens up your experience of the fretboard, and I'll see you next time.